What in the oh my goodness. Alright, so the Switch 2 has been rumored a lot lately. Let's check this out. There's apparently a hardware overview by Cheddar Rehab. Check this out, bro. Look at this fucking thumbnail, bro. Look at that thumbnail. That's crazy. Nintendo 2. Switch 2 hardware overview. This has got to be like satire. Like, this is so disgusting looking. I'm sorry. Like the blue, red, green, and yellow. Like, oh no, I just don't like it. It looks so sterile. Hall effect analog sticks. What does it even mean? Hall effect. LED light ring. Oh, they have that on the what's that called? The Rogue Ally X or whatever. It's interesting. There was a patent pulled for a new Switch technology, aka the Switch 2, and it's supposed to have like some technology where it uses like a certain kind of magnetic field and a liquid to provide more player feedback with the controller. I'm just looking at this because this is one of the most viewed. Oh, so they just magnetic. Oh, it has a magnetic design too. This could be actually. This ironically could be accurate from what I've actually read about this. 1080p. Get the fuck out of here, bro. When they can have a 4K or like at least a 1440 or 1240 or whatever it is. Exciting new software. I'm sure Elden Ring will run great. I'm sure it will, bro. Smash Bros. Best game on the Switch. That's nice. Okay, that dock looks a lot better. You know what this reminds me of? It reminds me of my Steam Deck. Like, a lot. It does. I honestly, a lot of those... I feel like the Switch 2 needs to pull from what they do best, the Steam Deck and the Rogue Ally, because they have created a market where people... And I'm not one of them. But there's people that know how to emulate Switch games, which I have a lot of Switch games, and if I could, I probably would, but I don't know how to do that, right? And I don't even want to go down that rabbit hole because it's a legal nightmare probably too. You know, because there's a whole debate of like, you know, backing up your copies, and I mean, I just had this happen. I tried to play Pokemon Yellow on a road trip, right? I'm gonna go on a road trip here soon also, and I had to do what I had to do, but my save battery's dead on my Pokemon Yellow now, which pisses me the fuck off. Like, I was about to be at the Elite Four, and I was about to start, you know, catching legendaries and shit. I had to start all over now, and I had that save file for the last year, before I even did anything on YouTube. So yeah, there's the argument where you should be able to, like, I don't know, emulation should be accepted at some point, right? But yeah. I got off topic. But yeah, a lot of people use their Steam Decks, Rogue Allies, and emulate their Switch games on there because it's frankly a more powerful system.
It sure is hot out here. My armpits are sweaty.
What the fuck?
I don't know who would.
Smell-o-vision? Okay, this gotta be cap. There's no way. I do not want to be smelling my Switch. That's just weird.
I want to smell them. Hey Mario, want a snack?
Oh my god. Someone wants that smell-o-vision for real. Well, hello, ladies.
I bet they smell so bad.
Ooh. Support from lots of great. Okay, this is interesting. Yeah. So that's my reaction to the Nintendo Switch 2 hardware overview. This is fucking hilarious, honestly. Cheddar Rehab. Bro, don't scare me like that. I thought this was real for a second. Honestly, if I like clicked on this and didn't obviously didn't read the name, until you get to the Princess Peach part, you'd be like, what the fuck? This is for real, bro. Yeah, the ending was crazy. What was the end? The ending was wild. All right, we're gonna check out this real quick though too. I saw a video. Yeah, this intrigued me right here. Okay, so someone sent us that Switch 2 mock-up and its case. We have thoughts, and this is where all the conversation is stemming from. I believe a bunch of creators have been getting contacted by people that make cases. And this kind of happens with a lot of new technology that pops off, right? Because when a new technology like the Switch comes out, you know, there's going to be accessories that need to be made and stuff like that. So obviously they're going to get a little further ahead than everyone else. Paul's still getting over from being sick. Okay, we were sent a Switch 2. Okay, he's gonna
we
talk.
haven't spoken about the Switch 2 at all. Like, not at all on our channel. It's just not something we do unless we have any kind of factual information. In this case, we don't have factual information per se. We've got a Nintendo Switch 2 that's been sent to us 3D printed by a case designer who have all of the plans and blueprints for the Switch 2.
Is it gonna be the same as we saw in the Cheddar video?
Now, they did want us to mention their case, obviously. They're wanting to hopefully get a bit of the, I don't know, the hype around it.
I'm actually kind of, I don't think that's a smart move by the case company, because you're pretty much in legal agreement, I would believe, with Nintendo. You think they would have some kind of NDA process, right? And then you're just flashing the logo. That's kind of ballsy of them. Wow.
And the fact that it also comes shipped with...
Ooh, that reminds me of a Steam Deck. Ooh. Shout out to everybody that uses a Steam Deck. I'm actually probably going to switch over to Rogue Ally, because the Rogue Ally X can use Windows, and I'm like deep into Fortnite now. And there's a lot of games that you just can't play online on the Steam Deck, which just pisses me off, bro.
The screen protector. The screen protector itself is pretty large, as you can see. Let's try and focus that camera. That's a pretty large screen protector. If I get the original Switch device and then I place that over the top, you'll see the difference in scale. So there.
Oh boy. Hold on. Where's my Switch at? Let me put this in perspective for y'all, right? Because I have all this right at my fingertips. And then I have my... That's that. Where is my Steam Deck? Steam Deck's right here. Okay, cool. So I'm going to put this in perspective for y'all too, so you don't even have to look it up, because maybe some of y'all use the Steam Deck. Steam Deck is huge, right? It's a lot bigger than the Rogue Ally. A little bit. It's a little bigger. I got the newest version of the Switch, or that was the newest. I don't know. Maybe it's not anymore. Take my Joy-Cons off. They're already drifting. So yeah, the screen for the Switch, it's about an inch smaller. So this is probably, yeah, I would imagine that's probably, plus the, well, you get the bezels on the sides too. The screen protector is going to go on the bezels as well, or the bezels, whatever. You know what I'm trying to say, the black lines on the sides. But yeah, this screen's probably, for the Switch 2, it's probably the same size as the Steam Deck, which is very competitive. I like that a lot. I really like how beefy the Steam Deck is too. The touchpads are awesome. Well, they're really good for emulation, right? I really love the setup. I do wish we would have, some kind of Joy-Con system, at least where I could switch out the thumb sticks easier. But it is what it is. I told you, I had the Pokemon Yellow situation happen. I bought a soldering kit and a new battery, so that's going to be my introduction to soldering. And then we're probably going to swap a couple of cases, because I naturally, that's what happens after that, right?
There is the Switch OLED.
Sorry, yeah, that's a good size.
But the screen protector of the Switch 2 or Switch successor, I mean, it dwarfs the entire unit. If we turn it around on the front, you're looking at a ½ inch on each side of the whole thing. That's how much bigger it is. Now, yeah, they obviously want to get their name out there. The case, let me just show you that. There we go.
Which is interesting, because it said 1080p. Are we talking OLED screens in the beginning, or is that later on? Because the OLED screen is so much better. That's what I have on my Switch. So much better than the original.
Now they do want to stress that they haven't got the real Switch 2, but that they have had some specs.
Yeah, so you have that thing on the back, which is awesome because I had a fucking I have it behind my thing, but it's pretty much something that clips onto the Switch and you hold it and it just gives you more grip on the back of it. That's a lot of the complaints I've heard about the Rogue Ally. It doesn't have that like this like grip to it, right? Because I can easily grip this without like holding it onto my pinky. I also have really large hands. Like I wear XL gloves when I used to play football. But you know, I'm a really tall, big guy, right? I'm easily 6'3", so yeah.
Shall we say?
I need something to grip.
Information which has enabled them to 3D print the device. It's not the first time we've seen a 3D print of it. Certainly, it's the first time I have seen a 3D print of it. And yeah, it's looking pretty legit. So let's open it up. Right off the bat, you can see a lot of similarities to what we used to.
Okay, so it's the same situation. I do like the black on white scenario versus the colorful colors. I saw someone memeing about like the Y and X button being switched, which I would like. So it's more like a Xbox controller, you know?
Yeah, the OLED and just plonk it straight down in the
love
middle.
PlayStation,
it's
but
dwarfed.
the Xbox controls
it's a
has always
shame
been my
about lighting,
favorite.
really. But it is dwarfed by the scale of this thing. This is such a nice improvement in terms of scale as far as I'm concerned. Now we will also have a look.
I do miss the days when you could like put a fucking handheld in your pocket. Like that's what a handheld used to be, like a pocket device. I really miss the SP, man. It's probably one of my favorite consoles of all time. Just a clamshell design where I could like put it in my bag, throw it in my pocket, put it anywhere, and I really didn't care if it was gonna get banged up or hurt or anything like that, because it's self-contained. Game Boy, not so much. It can still scratch up and stuff like that, but dude, I miss the days where you could put the handheld in your pocket. Even the PSP you could do that with. These are getting ridiculous, man. We're just carrying around little TVs at this point.
In comparison to the scale of this. But as you can see, the original Switch OLED is dwarfed by it. Really, it looks small in comparison. I turn it over. The black on black certainly doesn't help. You might get a better idea.
No,
You're looking at about a ½ inch on these two sides and about the same on the bottom as well. You probably can't see this, but the bezel, you can see the bezel there. It's actually almost the same. There's not a huge amount in it really from the Switch OLED, which surprises me. I thought they were going to leave a much bigger bezel. So that's actually really good to know. We'll have a look at the thickness as well, see if it's a thick boy or not. But when we take that out, I mean, that fits perfectly inside this case. Like absolutely perfectly. Let's just look inside the case before we look more at that. You can see the original cart slot sizes here.
So I didn't want to talk about the buttons for a second. Like, why would they have extra buttons? Like, let me look at my Switch real quick. Make sure I'm not tweaking, right? Okay. Oh, it's the same button layout. What the fuck? It's the same layout. The only thing that's different is they have an extra button right here. That's it. It's just bigger. What is this? Did they make this Switch in Texas or something? Why are you calling it the Switch 2? Why not the Switch XL?
Let me take that out. I mean, that fits perfectly inside this case. Like, absolutely perfectly.
Now I'm
Let's just
confused even more.
Before we look
I don't know
more at
why.
that.
I thought those buttons were extra.
You can see the original cart slot sizes here. They are original sizes. You've got this slight indented design on the back because they may have just repurposed the Steam Deck case. But it seems to fit a bit too good, doesn't it? Well, it feels so much like...
Okay, that does bother me now. They do make Joy-Cons though, I believe. Comment down below if you know what Joy-Cons I'm talking about, where you can find them, because I need to get some. But I don't even use my Switch that much anymore. But the Joy-Cons, dude, they're really nice. They're like these Pro Joy-Cons where they kind of bulge out a little bit, kind of like a Steam Deck handle.
The original Switch OLED, really.
It's really nice.
I say the original Switch OLED. It's just the
Never
original
had them. My
Switch
buddy
general
had some.
language and design. How about the thickness? There's not a great deal in it at all. I don't think there's any significant difference in thickness at all. If I turn them around so that we've got the same...
No, I think the Switch 2 might be, from what I'm getting, the concept really feels... the cartridges, he goes over the cartridges of the feel of the Joy-Cons. Joy-Cons will be a little bit bigger, right? I would imagine. Design thoughts. I think I could think for myself on this one, man. I really don't. It's kind of underwhelming. This isn't a dig at the other Switch channels, but I find it absolutely hilarious that the guys avoid the Switch 2 rumor bandwagon, and here you guys come and surprise us with the most concrete evidence of them all. It's almost like a reward for dodging all the fluff. Yeah, it is cool that he's got like the dimensions and everything like that. It has it comparable. He's comparing it to the OLED model, the cartridges though. I'll look at this section real quick.
Lots of people that were worrying about whether or not they'd change the cartridges up. Now, that's not to say that it doesn't take a lot.
No, they're not going to change the cartridges up. It'll be like how they change up the DS to the DSX, the XL, right? The 3DS.
Larger format card though, that's something that we'll have to see, isn't it? See what they do with that. They could have created a port that accepts both. I mean, it is slightly wider, slightly longer. So
yeah, it sounds like the situation they're having with the 3DS.
You know,
which are arguably it's one of the greatest
to have the comparison
handhelds of all time.
Now,
also
the
acclaimed.
The most interesting thing to me is the
Style
Type-C
handheld.
port. Now we have seen, I'm going to just angle it, we've seen the Type-C port showcased by the first reveal of the
They already got a fucking Type-C. What are we
3D
talking about?
print that was released, and having it on the top is a huge deal. The reason being is in the
that is
past,
a big
whenever
deal.
you'd had the unit on the ground, you were going to play like this,
Yeah.
you couldn't actually plug in the power. It was just a really bad idea.
Yeah.
Like just a terrible design. Now you've got both, so I'm guessing we've got a similar.
And then you also, ideally, it would be double powered, right? You'd plug in 2 cords and charge it twice as fast.
Docking setup. You've got the dock on the bottom and power.
That'd be really
And then
nice.
you've got the top. Now I wonder if this will also be able to be used as a dock. Now I'm sure Nintendo's dock won't use it, but whether or not third-party peripherals will, that's a lot more interesting, and it's something that most handheld PCs.
Also, yeah, I would love them to have this be able to be dockable. Nintendo should do it. I don't know why they don't. But the dock that they naturally have, when you're trying to travel around, that thing it's clunky, dude. You don't need it to be in like that plastic molding just to be set up for a TV. You really don't need that. Have a travel style dock where it's just a cord.
Handheld
What's
gaming
the problem with
devices,
that?
things like the Steam Deck, that's where theirs is, and you know, hopefully, but it is Nintendo, so you know, if it just charges, then that's absolutely fine. There's quite a bit to say about the Joy-Cons. Let's compare to an original set of Joy-Cons in terms of scale and the feeling of them as well. So scale-wise,
Man,
I'm
those
using clear
Joy-Cons are
ones, so
clean.
hopefully you'll be able to see a bit better. That gives you a reasonably good idea, actually, of the size difference. You can almost imagine if I put the screen in the center, that's the difference. So Joy-Cons themselves, well, the original ones are very small for my hands. I think anyone that had hands that were like, I don't know, I won't say normal size, that were a little larger, then you
Big boy
really
hands.
struggle with those. Now,
Yeah.
a couple of things that we have seen in the original preview build actually is this longer curved edge. So although they are larger physically, they have this longer rounded or curved edge all the way around.
they
As
do.
for the rear, is exactly the same. So you've got that
Or more-
matching curve
more
on the back,
obtuse,
but on the
a wider
rear,
angle.
it doesn't seem to be much different from
No.
what we're used to. I think that these Joy-Cons have a sharper edge here. If you look, it has a sharper edge that comes around. It's still rounded, but it is definitely sharper than the original design. Now, as far as the scale difference of those Joy-Con, yes, they are certainly larger.
And one thing I completely forgot to mention when I was recording this is there's obviously the extra button on the right-hand Joy-Con that
Yeah, what is that even for?
they've
was
emblazoned
weird.
a C on, perhaps for capture. Who knows?
They're also slightly wider, but not a huge amount, not proportional to the increase of the size of the console.
It looks like a record button. It has a circle on it, right? But I know the other one had a screenshot,
I
right?
should imagine Nintendo, there's only so
Just for,
large
like,
they want to go with
screenshotting.
these, but I'm thinking that most people won't have a problem with those. I mean, still they feel quite small. Actually, I can see why they've gone for this. This is a lot more comfortable right over the top there, and then the way that this works around the back
Oh, no, the
just
circle
feels
was on
very
the left.
familiar. Feels very very similar to the original model. I wonder if this design is correct. I mean,
That's the left one.
I guess that this area here could be slightly recessed. Maybe on the actual model it allows it to come underneath. So I guess there is a way they could do it. But then that wouldn't leave a huge amount of room inside for whatever mechanism or however this works. Yeah, it's all very interesting, isn't it? Obviously, we're looking at magnets potentially. This is just stuck onto the side. I'm tempted to see if I can pull it off. I'll end up just breaking it though. So yeah, probably not.
That's the trigger? That looks fucking weird. Oh, it's like a Z button. I got it. It's like the Z button on the Wii controller.
Again, very similar. Interestingly, look, you can see that.
Oh, okay, yeah. So the circle button I showed you that was on the left side is what or I guess the right side, depending on what perspective you have. But yeah, left from what I'm seeing. Yeah, that's the same.
Kept these
So
in the
it's two
same
of them.
place and then scaled in both directions.
Yeah.
Mine's slightly larger over here. But the capture button that they've used, who knows what capture button? It's probably not something that their specs would know about. That's exactly the same size. Same goes for the analog sticks here. They've just got a mock-up design. This doesn't work.
I'm not gonna lie. I was kind of hoping for more. Hopefully the software is
Just
better.
a piece of plastic. I'm sure it'll just be a Hall sensing
Hopefully the
joystick
hardware is
in
better for
reality.
real.
But as far as
But
what I was
aesthetics
hoping for the device,
looks
and
the same
you
to
know,
me.
ergonomically, this is exactly what I think most of us want, right? You've got a Switch to
Yeah.
whatever it's going to be called, Switch successor, that's going to follow the same form factor that we're used to. It's going to feel like a Switch. Anyone's going to pick this up, they're going to know exactly what to do. Perhaps
True.
there'll be a few little quirks in terms of magnetic Joy-Cons, things like that. But they've also said all of your games will run on it. Now it's looking like the cart slot is the same form factor. Who knows what they'll do there, but it's
You know what I really wish they would do? Throw a fucking slot on there for every goddamn game they have, bro. Fucking DS, fucking Game Boys, bro. That'd be so cool. Have 3 different slots. Oh my god. Dude, that'd be so cool. That'd be so awesome.
seems like a very odd decision if your games don't
They'll
run
never do
on
that,
it.
though.
So I'm sure that's
Ever.
going to work.
Never,
and then
ever.
I was talking to someone in the comments about the backwards compatibility and what that means. They were saying that, it doesn't necessarily mean that all of your games are going to perform better. Now, I think in the Switch story is a bit different to other platforms. I would argue that actually it does mean that your games are going to perform better. It's already been shown with modified hardware that you can essentially have your current gen games run better, even if they're not going at a higher clock rate. So say the game's target.
I'm sorry, but this looks like shit. This looks like garbage right now. What am I looking at? Yeah, that's it, bro. I'm not gonna waste your time. There's pretty much we've talked about everything in depth already. Shout out to this guy's video though. SwitchUp. I'm definitely giving it a like. And then also the other video we reacted to initially. Shout out to that video as well. This one right here, Nintendo Switch 2 hardware overview, which is fucking hilarious when they get to the very end. Cheddar Rehab. Yeah, shout out to both of those. Both videos deserves a like. I send them your way. Go sub to their channels if you want to, man. But yeah, we're gonna go full screen real quick. I really think that the Switch needs to upgrade their hardware at the end of the day, because a lot of their games run like PS2 games, which is not okay when you're talking about next-gen gaming 2025. Nintendo has a lot of new competitors in the atmosphere in the industry, and they need to step it up a level, and they usually always do. Except for when it comes to like stuff like Pokemon, but they man, I don't know. I'm really excited for the new Switch. It sucks because I'm gonna have to buy one, right? That does hurt the wallet a little bit. Hopefully it is a true successor and upgrade, and then I'll be excited to buy that new Switch, right? But it is what it is. We'll find out hopefully here soon, and when we do, we'll react to it. But my name's Trey Swish. I'll keep y'all updated on all Nintendo's 2 Switch information. We'll react to all because they're gonna release something soon, I'm sure, with all this chatter going around. But yeah, we'll talk about it, and I'll see you guys in the next one, man. Hit that sub button, join the ether. Shout out to the ether. I love y'all. Sorry, I shook the camera for a second. And let's get to 1,000 subs, baby. Y'all have a great year. Have a great 2025, baby. All right, I'll see y'all later. Deuces.